Now to Taiwan, where voters are soon to cast their ballots in landmark presidential and parliamentary elections. Christy Lou Stouts is on the spot for us and joins us once again from Taipei. Campaigning there going right down to the wire. Just a few hours to go, Christy, but they're still pretty active.
Oh, very active indeed. I'm at the site of the rally for the opposition DPP party. Its candidate for President Tsai Ing-wen, widely tipped to become the next president of Taiwan. And if so, she'd become the first female leader of the island. We've been listening to lots of speeches, songs underway. But, you know, it's not a story of the presidential election. It's not only that going on here. There's also the parliamentary election, 113 seats, and the Taiwan legislature up for grabs. And aiming for those seats, a number of parties called the Third Force. This is an umbrella term used to describe this new generation of these youth movement parties that came out of the Sunflower Movement in 2014. And among these Third Force parties is the New Power Party. And I have the leader of the New Power Party,黄国昌, joining me right here. And thank you for joining me. You're running for the legislature, and you're widely tipped to get a seat. How are you feeling right now?
It's complex, but I feel grateful. Although it has been less than half a year since I announced my candidacy.
You feel grateful?
Grateful, and there are a lot of people walking through such an exciting journey with me. No matter what happened tomorrow, I'm grateful for all the people who stand behind me, support me, and support Taiwan's democracy. I feel very proud of our country and our democracy.
Now, Guochang, you've been actively canvassing for votes. You were out there today knocking on doors, talking to people, even singing songs, pop songs on the stage. I guess that's democracy Taiwan style. We tried to meet in Hong Kong. That meeting didn't work out because you weren't granted a visa. What happened?
I think these questions should be and could be best answered by the Hong Kong authorities. What I did just like an ordinary citizen trying to apply for a Hong Kong visa through the internet, but it was denied. And actually, several years ago, I was invited by a Hong Kong university to attend the academic conference. And at that time, there was no problem at all for me to enter Hong Kong. But 2 years ago, after the Sunflower Movement, I tried to went to Hong Kong to support the umbrella movement. But at that time, that was the first time my application for Hong Kong visa was denied. And this time I got the invitation from CNN. I felt so excited. I do want to go to Hong Kong.
But your application was denied, and you did ask, and we asked the Hong Kong government, but they said that they can't comment on individual cases. I understand that here in Taiwan, a lot of people are actively looking at what's going on in Hong Kong. The case of you trying to get a visa, that apparently being denied, looking at the case of the missing booksellers. When people in Taiwan look at the situation in Hong Kong, how does it make people here feel about their relationship they want with China?
First, let me start by emphasizing Taiwanese people are very peaceful. We definitely want a peaceful relationship with mainland China. But that doesn't necessarily mean we have to sacrifice our way of life and our democracy. I hope the international community can understand and respect Taiwanese people's will to decide our own future. I hope China can respect and understand that as well.
There's a perception out there that the Sunflower Movement, the youth movement, is also an anti-China movement in Taiwan. Is it an anti-China movement?
I don't see that as an anti-China movement. That is more pro-democracy. We want to uphold our constitutional democracy and our rule of law. That is the biggest rationale behind the whole Sunflower Movement. Although China plays a role in that because China trying to ruin our democracy and trying to tell Taiwanese people, marry us, or I will shoot you. That is not going to help to improve the relationship between Taiwan and China. The young people in Taiwan are very angry about China's attitude in that regard. We respect Chinese people's own decision, their way of life. We hope the Chinese people, especially the Communist Party, can respect our will and our democracy as well.
All right, well, Han Guangchang, leader of the People New Power Party. Many thanks indeed for joining us here at CNN.
My pleasure. Very nice.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts.
Thank you for coming to Taiwan to allow the world to see our democracy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Andrew, as you heard from Guochang just then, as China is no doubt closely watching the election here in Taiwan, the people in Taiwan are closely watching events in Hong Kong and also closely watching events in mainland China. But as we heard from this third force candidate running for one of these 113 legislative seats up for grabs tomorrow in the election, he says that his movement, the youth movement in Taiwan, is not an anti-China movement, but a pro-Taiwan movement. Back to you.
Absolutely. Very clear message indeed sent. Christy, thanks very much for that. Christy Lou-Stout joining us from Taipei, and Christy will be reporting the results of that election throughout the weekend. So make sure you stay with us here at CNN for that. Now, one of the icons of the web turns